Today's show is brought to you by StreamTech Drift Boats, the world's most versatile drift boat. Find them at www.streamtechboats.com. I kind of feel bad for these people, but at the same time I don't because they're stupid.
Don't see a circle around yourself, just start pissing everywhere.
Oh, I hate the Dutch.
Welcome to our country. And so
she doesn't really look Canadian. She looks almost American. Just insulted all of Canada.
Oh, every time I see something up, you got If I'd known that before, I would have just interspaced every other sentence with something horrible.
Well, I haven't felt my feet since I sat down in the chair.
Can you see your feet, though?
No. I'd rather do anything else on the planet than go tip a cow over.
How about Canada? Is there any stream access issues up in Canada?
nobody cares.
Not very much.
Kids, if you don't understand that joke, ask your parents.
Evan, Derek?
Yeah.
Oh, God, here it comes.
Your flies are open.
Thanks.
Grab hold of your flies. This is a podcast for nymphers, strippers, swingers, and dry fly guys. It's the show that brings you stories, instruction, and conservation from three guys who live it every day. This is The Open Fly.
What were we talking about?
We just had a great 10 minutes of audio.
Are we on the air now?
I think we're actually on the air now.
That's one of the beautiful things about podcasting is that, maybe you're
so
talking
much
to people that you think are listening, but you never know.
We just had a really nice discussion for 15 minutes.
It was clever. Good.
It was some of our best material.
Sometimes I feel like
And then-
if I was an audience listener, I would be trapped in the back of a semi driving down the road.
Yeah. So I thought I was looking at the recorder thinking I'm going to make a joke that hasn't been recording for the entire time. And then I saw it actually wasn't recording for the entire time.
Joke's on you.
Real quick, let's bullet point what we talked about the first time. We talked about Evan's trade show trip and fishing on the East Coast, and Derek's remodel and some winter fishing on the Yakima.
Kirk's malaise, wintertime malaise.
Yeah. And, we talked about how podcast is a nice play on the cast thing.
Right.
And we're a fishing podcast, but what do we call ourselves? Are we podcasters or are we flycasters?
So how about we elaborate on each of those points because it'd be a more interesting show.
What did we just talk about? Yeah, what did we just...
Well, Evan's travels first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly, because it's really not something most people are interested
You rented an American car on the East Coast, and it was a poor one. Something about how Nissan has ruined the brand of the Pathfinder.
No, I went over and did the...
your computer stopped working, too.
Yeah. No, I've been home for all of 10 hours right now because I was gone for 2 weeks for the fly fishing shows on the East Coast. So flew into New Jersey and worked that show and then flew from there to Charleston, South Carolina, where I rented a car and promptly drove to Jacksonville and fished with our guest today's friend there that he hooked me up with. And caught some redfish and sea trout and things like that.
And you got fined for having a dog in your car that you didn't have?
Yeah, there was... This is going to go real well here, trying to recap.
This is like time travel.
No, that was a different car. I rented 3 cars on this trip, and the last one that I turned back in on Sunday, I looked at my receipt, and they charged me for a pet fee, which is $150 for what should have been a $70 rental. So the total was $240 or something like that. I didn't have a dog in the car.
Were you shedding a lot of body hair and stuff inside the vehicle?
Yes, but that's not a pet. They don't have a body hair fee.
Yeah, true, but they saw fuzz.
That would be gross if they did, wouldn't it?
That would not curly brown hair stuck all over.
That would
just wave the blue light over the car.
Dude, if I go into a rental car and found a bunch of human hair, it'd be no.
Yeah, dog hair. It's just somebody left their dog hair. You see curly brown hair stuck in the seat all over. You don't want to go in there.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I am currently disputing with a rental car company.
Well, if you need character witnesses, I'm sure somebody from the audience would be willing to
just pitch
characters
in.
Out there.
So yeah, podcasting. We haven't done that in a while.
No, it's been a while. October?
Well, I mean, not so long ago that we haven't been able to attract new guests to the show, so that's kind of nice. I mean,
attracted one new guest.
Every time we have a show, we at least have a guest.
Yeah.
We haven't fallen down that hole yet.
Now I'm all gun shy. I keep checking the recorder to make sure it's recording.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean,
oh, man.
I think it's okay to check on your performance while you're doing things because it lets you know you're doing a good job.
Right.
Like having a mirror.
Yeah. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Does that,
check.
Okay.
So, how's life in Ellensburg, Derek?
I love it.
Oh, you moved.
I did.
That's why we don't do shows anymore. Derek lives like 2 hours.
It's not my fault.
It's actually entirely your fault.
Oh, well.
It's actually his wife's fault. Oh. She's the one that found the new job over there.
Well, I got tired of driving back and forth. I did some math. I know it's still before noon, but I did some math.
I don't math good.
It was 3 hours of my life every day driving back and forth. Over a course of a week, that was 15 hours.
Yeah, but
so it's a whole day.
Then you got to factor in how we go from podcasting like once a month to once every 3 months now that you're moved. I mean, how does that kind of sway the decision?
Maybe there's some new technology that we don't know of yet that, maybe podcasting is really about getting in some sort of spaceship and time traveling.
Maybe like if we had a drone, we could hover. The drone could hover over your house.
There we go.
And film you.
There's an idea.
Record your voice. Seriously. Of course, we have phone lines for that.
Yeah.
Too,
what if we sort of delve into like Skyping? Is there like a Skype cast? We do like Skype casting where like we have a video.
Yeah, we could do a video chat. That way the listeners get the actual feel of
full studio effect.
Yeah, because I mean, just you being on Skype normally would just be like a phone call, but if we do a video chat, it's more like you're actually here.
Yeah, so I'm envisioning like a triptych. You know what a triptych is, right? Like 3 panels.
Like
triptych. Mm-hmm. Like a 3-split screen, not a split because it's in 3 ways. That's not a split, is it? What is that called?
It's a division.
A division of sorts.
I haven't had any idea what you're talking about for the last 15 seconds.
Just let them go.
Yeah, just watch. So you instead of listening to a podcast, you'd watch it and you'd see our faces or our heads talking, and you could nod along with it or throw stuff at it.
So you're saying I should set up a webcam?
Yeah, like an app.
That'd be cool. Then I wouldn't even have to come here. I could stay at home and podcast from the offices of Itchy Dog and Productions.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we'd lose some of the camaraderie we have when we're,
Hey, there's that word.
Yeah. Camaraderie.
I agree. It's nice to come over the mountains every once in a while, too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
I like being here right now because I haven't been here in like 2 weeks.
That's your house.
I haven't even had my first morning constitutional in my own house in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Hey, Kirk, you got a new truck.
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, the fish taco was getting so hard for me to spend any amount of time in that thing because of kidney shimmying and lower back lack of support, and so I cast it free. And I got a 4-wheel Barca Lounger.
Yeah.
So is this the fish burrito?
No, it has no name.
It's like a platter.
Yeah,
it's a lot bigger than a taco.
Yeah, it's a platter.
It's
combination plate.
It doesn't feel like a big truck because it's got a short bed. It's got a 2-foot bed.
Can you stretch out in it though? I mean,
I can.
In the back
widthwise.
Nice.
Widthwise, I can. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's probably better than that Nissan Pathfinder that I apparently left a bunch of pet hair in.
Have you noticed the piped-in sound of a growling engine yet, or is that just internet rumor?
Whether it's being piped in through the speakers or not, for a 6-cylinder, it actually sounds pretty good.
It's growly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's got 2 turbos on it.
Wow, a twin turbo?
Yeah, EcoBoost, as they say.
Why do you need 2 of them?
Because one isn't enough on a small engine like that, I guess. I don't know.
One for first gear and the other turbo for like 2nd through 8.
I can tell you, I've been driving gutless vehicles for so long that I'm going to have to watch it.
Are you getting the lead foot on this thing?
Well, it's fun to do that. Fun to use the right foot.
Oh.
Let's bring this back to the theme of the show. Is it going to make your fishing better?
No, but it's going to help my self-esteem. And so if I feel better about myself, then I may be a better fisherman.
It's all about the confidence.
Yeah. It's going to tow the boat probably better.
Yeah, it has some torque that the other truck did not have.
And where did the taco go?
I sold it to a local gal here.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I've seen a a truck much like the Fish Taco around my neighborhood in Ellensburg. I thought for a while maybe you were like stalking me.
There's like 3 other ones just like it here in Duval. I wave at them all the time.
A white Tacoma with a matching canopy on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fisherman's truck, so...
It was a good little truck. I mean, I loved that thing. If it was more comfortable...
Why didn't you marry it?
Already married. I told everybody who asked me, I said, I love everything about the truck except it's uncomfortable, it has no torque, and it gets horrible gas mileage.
Otherwise, great.
Yeah.
So if you weren't already married, would you have married your truck?
Well, maybe like a common law arrangement. It was a good truck. I liked it. For
that was a good
7 years, it gave me
Did
no
you get
problem.
what you wanted for it?
Actually, I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
You took her to the cleaners.
No, she didn't even make an offer.
Oh.
Posted the price.
She
She knew it. She knew it was worth it.
Oh.
She asked for
She's
it?
an informed consumer.
Yes. Or I might have said, "Don't insult me with an offer," something like that. I don't know.
That's a good
I find myself always having to put that into things now. It's like don't lowball me. You know, don't kick it around. Just like you want it or you don't.
I put this price on this because that's what I want.
Yeah,
It's
it did
like
not say OBO.
I sold one of my cameras a couple months ago it was just the camera body, no lens or anything, for like $300, and I was getting offers for like $100, $125.
Yeah. It's a trick.
The hell is wrong with you people?
It's a trick.
That's why they can't have nice things.
I expect that on Craigslist, but not like the local, community boards and stuff.
Well, we did sort of the same thing. We had this house we bought and remodeled. It had the original kitchen cabinets in it from 1982. They were still in fine shape, but just from 1982.
Sure.
So we took them out of the kitchen and found somebody locally that would take them from you, buy them from you, and refurbish them if need be, and then donate them or sell them to a Habitat for Humanity type of a thing. So the guy comes over to pick them up, and I said, well, we'd like $25 per cabinet because they could probably be sold for $50 or $75 per cabinet, still allowing for a very healthy sort of a profit. And he looked at me like, we're here to take them.
Well, maybe he thought you were just donating them.
Well, and I eventually found out that they were just given straight to Habitat for Humanity. So
You looked like a serious asshole for like 20 minutes.
Potentially, yeah.
Well,
hey, I know you're going to give these to homeless people, but you're going to have to pay.
But at the same time, though, we also found an example of someone took something from somebody else's house and put it into a store and was selling it for an absurd amount of money. And
that sounds like a lost opportunity.
Well, it could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you never know.
Mm-hmm. But you got new cabinets.
I got new cabinets.
How's the fishing been at the new house?
I haven't been doing a whole lot of fishing. I've been building and painting and scrubbing and breaking. It's been kind of fun. But it's almost done.
Well, one of us has got to go fly fishing for the show.
Well, here's what we'll do is we'll have a housewarming party, and you can come over and you can bring your boat because I have an acre of land. You can park your boat wherever you want to.
My boat needs an acre of land.
There, I know. So you can do that.
Yeah.
And hey, we could podcast from my house.
Hey, there we go.
We can talk about that later.
I mean, we have a.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, we have a portable recording device.
Really? Does it actually record?
It does. Because I did it in Denver one time. We were at the show. We interviewed some big kid named Austin or something like that.
I don't remember.
Anyways, that's just it's a fig leaf what is the dove and the peace thing? Is that a fig leaf?
Olive branch.
Yeah, there we go.
No, fig leaves is what you use to cover your junk.
Yeah.
I need an oak leaf for that. Sorry, you might need a fig leaf.
I need an olive branch.
All right. Well, so what do we have? Are we just hanging out and talking for the third time?
Well, let's have a guest.
Yeah, let's get somebody on. Do we have anybody lined up?
I don't know. It's some guy.
A rock star of unmatched popularity and devotion to his craft.
Yeah. We got Chuck Ragan on.
There we go.
Singer, songwriter, longtime musician,
fly fishing guide,
philanthropist,
father,
husband,
community activist,
generally
chef.
Good guy. Oh, is he a chef too?
I think so. I think he's a Cajun chef.
Oh boy, guarantee it. Oh.
Mm-hmm. And then our buddy Donald's going to drop by.
Donald.
Yeah, I remember Donald. He was in the one show that the audio didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
We need to stop having Donald in.
I hope somebody comes up with like a parody, like Instagram page, like they do for Seinfeld, and this is like the episode, the one where Donald didn't show up.
Yeah. No, so Donald showed up and the equipment didn't work, and then he's coming today, and my recorder wasn't recording, and we had to re-record the opening of the show.
I blame Donald for a lot of things.
This intro is way better than the one that we allegedly recorded.
There was some good stuff, and we didn't talk about the grocery store or anything on the second time around.
No, it's okay. I mean,
we can't really force that in.
The lost files.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Ooh, the open podcast behind the scenes.
Yeah,
that could be a nice little thing.
The editing room floor.
If we would have had like a separate recording device, like some webcams or something.
How do you know that I wasn't
a contingency? We should have a contingency. We don't have any.
I've secretly been recording this entire thing.
Yeah.
I'm tired of podcasting. I mean, it's like a lot of things. You don't do something for a while, and you come in, you do it, and you're like, I'm kind of exhausted.
Yeah, we're just kind of out of shape. It's like exercising. You don't do it for a while, and you just kind of lose it. Now we're going to do it. We're going to go exercise for one day here, and then take another 2 or 3 months off. So it's just like, why do it at all?
It's not 2 or 3 months.
Well, you're the deciding factor.
Don't blame me.
Oh, I'm pinning this shit.
Don't blame me for all this.
For me to do it, I have to turn my chair around. For you to do it, you have to drive 2.5 hours over the mountain.
You're right.
Yeah.
I should be the one that yields.
Because
what is his contracts, Dave? You gone back and read his contract?
No, we need to renegotiate. So I don't know if we're going to sign him to another deal.
Well, the corporate jet. I mean, seriously, Smirnoff vodka. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, maybe we get him a Nissan Pathfinder. Open fly Pathfinder.
I want at least mid-shelf vodka on the corporate jet.
Get some Svedka.
Thank you.
All right. I don't even know what mid-shelf vodka is. I just threw out a vodka.
Well, and I mean, and Cheez-Its are okay, but I mean, Cheese Nips are better.
No, I disagree. Cheez-Its are the bomb. Cheese Nips are a knockoff. Do you top them with
Cheez-It?
No, I mean...
Cheese on cheese?
No,
see, to me,
a cheese cracker, like Goldfish, but they're square.
Comparing Cheez-Its and Cheese Nips is like comparing Miracle Whip to mayonnaise.
Oh God!
Or nymphing to fly fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
wait a minute. That might offend somebody.
I don't care.
All right.
If you nymph without an indicator, is it acceptable?
Are you? If you nymph?
If you nymph without an indicator, is it then acceptable?
Yeah, that's fly fishing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just using a bobber.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I center pin.
Right.
So then
you feel like you're fly fishing.
So everybody hates me equally.
And you're laughing all the way to the bank because you're catching fish.
Yeah.
Oh, the bank as in the river bank.
Yeah.
That was clever.
Yeah.
That was clever.
Yeah, because they throw me out of the boat and I laugh on my way to the bank. Hey, that was a good joke, guys.
That was cutting edge. See, it's coming back.
Yeah.
It's all coming back.
Cobwebs are lifted.
We need to start specializing in dad jokes. Kirk probably knows some dad jokes.
I've forgotten them all.
There's a tenkara joke about having to tell your dad that you fished tenkara.
There's also the same joke can be said about fly fishing.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, should we get Chuck on the line and get Donald in the studio to break more things for us?
Yeah,
sure.
That sounds like a good idea.
Make sure we're still recording.
I'll take us out. Are you ready?
No, hold on.
3.
I got to make sure it's still recording first.
2, 1, and we're out.
Scan for lights on the brand new banks, muddy cars and kitchen sinks. I need you like I need my health in this world and out of myself. I keep walking to see the next mile. Keep on praying for a stranger's smile.
This is Derek, and on behalf of Stream Tech Boats, I want to talk to you about 3 factors that I consider really important when you're choosing a drift boat, and that's safety, fun, and performance. These are the safest drift boats around to float out of. They're fun to row, and from a performance standpoint, if you're a professional on the water, all 3 of these factors are important. So let's take a second to hear from the man who designed the boat himself.
I tried pretty much everything, that just none of them were really doing what I wanted. So we set out to design a boat. I'd call it the one boat that would maneuver like the hard boats, that would go in the really rough places, that would float high, that would have all the amenities that come on a hard boat with anchor systems and good leaning. A very nice flat floor that you can inflate hard, that you can stand on. No bolts, no nuts, no pins, no clips, nothing. to put it together. For the reasons that it's so good for fishing, it got this rocker, and so it pivots quickly, and it slides out on the foam pile when you come off big drops. That rocker just climbs right out on the foam pile. A total game changer.
So there you have it. My recommendation, Link's words. Look for us at www.streamtechboats.com. Call Link directly. He'll answer that phone, and he'll get you on your way towards the best drift boat on the market.
Now back to the open fly.
All right, welcome back.
We're back.
Yeah.
Boy, are we back.
Kurt, get up closer to your microphone there.
We're back with a vengeance.
Yeah. All right. Well, on the line, as we said before, we got Chuck Ragan. Chuck, what's going on?
Howdy. Good to be here. Thanks so much for taking me on the call.
Yeah. Where is here? You said, thanks for having me here. Where is here right now for you? Because you're not here with us.
Well, for me, I'm strolling my boy around in the driveway. I'm in Grass Valley, California.
Awesome. How old's your boy?
He's just over 8 months, so he's brand new. This is my wife and I's first kid, and yeah, man, he's a live wire. He's at that age now where he's just twisting and turning and moving, and
yeah,
it's a wild ride. Right now, he's sleeping sound.
How's he doing on his double haul?
Oh, he's got a little ways to go, but
that was a stupid question.
He's,
obviously babies can't
he's
fly
held
fish.
on. Yeah.
Sorry, Chuck.
He's already got a practice rod. He's held on to it.
I don't know anything about
already,
kids, so I thought that he might have been.
At 8 months, Evan, right now he's crapping in a diaper.
Yeah, I'll give
4
him
or
a
5
couple.
times
I'll give him a couple more months.
Okay.
I'll give him a couple more months.
I'm learning.
He'll be firing 80-footers before long,
Awesome.
Is he a sleeper, or does he fight the bedtime thing?
No, man, he's about as mellow as we could ever ask for.
That's how first
he's
children are.
He's a good dude. He's a good little dude. He's always happy. Loves his feet in the water. He loves looking at trees and birds, and we spend a lot of time outdoors with him. And he's just, I think a lot of it has to do with my wife and I. Just being able to spend so much time with him.
Yeah.
We're here. Since we had him, I really kind of, I've more or less stopped all the long tours, and just doing fly-ins, weekends. I got a short run coming up that's 9 days, and that's going to be the longest that I've been away from it.
So for our guests who are probably not familiar with your work outside of fishing, let them know a little bit about where you're coming from.
Sure.
What a lot of people might know you for outside of fishing, and then
sure.
We got you on a fishing show, so you obviously fish, but you did something else before.
Yeah, I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter, and I've been a working musician for close to 25 years now, and it's kind of something that when I was a younger man, I'd never dreamed that one day I would kind of sit back and go, oh, okay, I guess this is what I do now. I guess this is my career.
And it all led up to this point, being on the Open Fly podcast. I mean, it's just gonna.
That's right.
It's gonna blow up. I mean, I don't know if you know about the show or our audience, but I mean, the number of people listening. I mean, dozens.
Yeah, we launch careers.
At least dozens.
Launch careers. Awesome. At least those.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, for those who don't know, I mean, I grew up in the Southeast. I was born in Texas. I moved around a lot. My father is a professional golfer. He was a heavy hitter back in the late 50s and through the 60s. He played the PGA Tour for 14 years. He was on the Ryder Cup team. He was big time. And when he had my brother and I, he slowed down and just began teaching different club jobs, university coaches and such. So that's what kind of moved us around. I was born in Texas, went from Texas to Lilburn, Georgia, to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to Lafayette, Louisiana, and then down to Florida, pretty much before the age of 12, 13. And then on my mother's side, we're all Cajun folks. My pawpaw was a ranch hand for a while. He was a commercial fisherman for a while. He did a lot of things, and he was kind of one of the key players in turning my younger brother and I onto along with my mom as well and my dad, but he was kind of a key player in kind of turning our eyes to the outdoors in a huge way. But all through that, I was around music. My papa was an accordion player. Some of my earliest memories were just listening to him and Mama sitting around singing French songs, Cajun songs. He was real similar to Nathan Abshire. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that fella, but that's kind of a lot of the music. And then growing up, obviously in the Southeast, I was surrounded by bluegrass, country, and my mom, she's an entertainer, ventriloquist, who travels in evangelism, if you've ever heard of anything like that. So definitely
Donald knows all about it.
Line of work. Yeah.
Donald hires ventriloquists all the time to work at his church.
Yeah.
Not right,
but
Donald.
she, it's all she's ever done. And in fact, she's still trucking, touring. She goes to churches, prisons, all kinds of functions. And, so my brother and I, we grew up touring. We grew up around music in a lot of ways. And then at a young age, I found skateboarding, which put me into all kinds of different alternative music, rock and roll and punk rock. And then somewhere along the line, as a teenager, I decided I wanted to play guitar, and found myself doing that. And next thing I knew, I found myself in a band. Started with my buddies called Hot Water Music, and we started that band in, I want to say, 94, and we're still going today. So
is the band?
So over the years, yeah.
Was the band named for the fact that you were always in trouble?
It could have been.
Okay.
Very well could have been.
Yeah.
No, it's actually an old Charles Bukowski short story book. Even though we were all.
Go ahead.
What's that?
No, as I said, speaking of the skating and stuff, all that, Chuck sent me out fishing with one of his old skate buddies the other day. Had a great time with him.
Oh, yeah. Big country.
Yeah. Went out on your mom.
We used to.
His boat.
Yeah.
See
Dude,
that?
That's him.
Yeah. His Chuck's buddy, Big Country, his boat's name is Your Mom. So,
boy.
And he
his name's Aaron Cox.
Yeah.
His name's Aaron Cox, and years ago, he was a hell of a skater, great angler, hell of a skater. And years ago, we all started calling him Big Country. He's just big old redneck. And then since he's gotten bigger. So now his new name is Big Pantry.
Oh man,
nice.
No, we had a great time out there. I mean, the fishing wasn't red hot, but we hung out on the boat, just chit chatted, and caught a few trout and a few redfish, and it was a good time.
Did you go to his place? I haven't been to his new place. He's right on the water now.
Yeah, he's got Your Mom right on the dock out there. You just drop it right in.
Yeah.
Did you fill the boat up with gas?
What?
Did you fill the boat up with gas?
Yes.
How much did it cost to fill up Your Mom?
We can do this all day long.
Man, this is what happens when you only podcast once every 2 months.
How big is Your Mom?
22 feet, I think. 20 feet? I don't know.
How about it's got a wide berth?
Wide berth and Mom.
Anyway, moving on, Chuck.
Pretty wide.
Yeah. Where did we leave off? We left off Hot Water Music.
Yeah. So what's the genre of music?
So Hot Water is just kind of a pretty, aggressive rock and roll band. A lot of, we kind of got lumped into the whole punk rock genre because, I mean, for a few of us in the band, that's kind of what we grew up with, growing up with a lot of punk rock and skate rock and, pretty aggressive music. And it ended up being kind of the scene, like the circle, the ethic that we traveled in and amongst, you know. So, you know, a lot of people classified us as a punk band, but, you know, to us, it's just rock and roll, you know.
I agree.
But we've been going since '94, and you know, everybody's spread out now. A couple boys live in Florida. One dude lives in New York. I'm out here. You know, we all got a ton of other stuff going on. You know, I do, you know, since 2005, I've been playing a lot of solo stuff, you know, just kind of always being writing songs and whatnot. I've just kind of done more of a, I guess what people call kind of an Americana folk type music. You know, to me, it's whatever comes out. You know, it's kind of all the influences that I grew up with, all piled into one. You know, but I mostly play acoustic. I have a band called the Camaraderie. So I just travel under my own name, Chuck Ragan and the Camaraderie, and got a few great dudes who play with me, pedal steel player, Todd Bean, fiddle player, John Gaunt, and Joe Ginsberg playing bass, David Hidalgo Jr., the drummer for Social Distortion, and son of Dave Hidalgo Sr. from Los Lobos. He's on drums. So, and that's kind of when I'm playing music and I'm out and about traveling. That's what I mostly do nowadays. So,
cool. So
you're also guiding, though, right?
Yeah. So I'm just kind of I'm new. You know, I've taken people fishing for a long time. You know, I've taught people how to fish. I've taught kids how to fish, and you know, but I'm new in the guide world. I'm just kind of getting into my second season here, so it's new, but at the same time familiar to me, I guess, in a way. But I actually love it so much, you know. But you know, I kind of decided to go that route. You know, it was mostly I had a few buddies who just kind of really encouraged me to go out and get my license. You know, I was with the baby boy on the way and just kind of looking for other ways to make ends meet and stay busy while I'm home. You know, I've always been an independent worker in one form or the other, you know, and, you know, I was just kind of, I don't know, kind of looking for things to do to make ends meet without killing myself pounding the pavement, you know.
And so wait, let me stop you right there. So you chose to become a fly fishing guide to make ends meet.
Well, no. I mean, like, you know, yeah, I know it's got to be funny to a bunch of you, but no, I mean, to
Derek
me,
especially.
Yeah. To me, like, what I wanted to do was find a balance, you know. It was all about finding a balance between doing music where I wasn't in a way where I was gone all the time. You know, the touring life is brutal. It's brutal. You know, I mean, you know, if you're out there hitting it hard, really doing it right, you know, you're on the road for 6 weeks, you're home for a week and a half, you're back out for 10 weeks, you're home for 2 weeks, and so on and so forth throughout the year. And it can just wreak havoc on family life, on relationships. And, you know, I know a lot of fellows who do it and a lot of men and women who do it that have kids, but I just didn't want to be an absent dad, you know.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons I got into guiding, it was buddy of mine, Hogan Brown, who's one of the individuals that started Cast Hope along with Ryan Johnson. You know, he was the one who I guess was, you know, just an inspiration to kind of look for a balance between these two ways of living. And, he said, look, man, you've got the boats. You're out there all the time when you're home anyway. You know where you are, you know where you're going. And, why don't you come check out this Cast Hope program and, come help us out with some of these kids. And I started looking into the program, and I just fell in love with it, I don't know if any of your listeners or if you guys are super familiar with Cast Hope, but
make us familiar.
Cast Hope's, so we're a nonprofit organization. We work with a lot of boys and girls clubs, Boy Scouts, Youth for Change, a few different schools. We're funded by some donors, but we also hold fundraisers, different events to raise money. And, the main initiative, the main goal is simply just to share the outdoors with kids who didn't grow up with it. All of us on this conversation right now, at some point in our life, we wouldn't even be here talking about this if, a family member or a friend or, grandparent or a mentor of some sort didn't take us out into the outdoors and show us kind of the glories of it, right? And to us, the main concept is, we at some point in our lives became connected with nature. We became connected with the outdoors. And for that reason, we care enough to pass it on. We care enough to, respect our area and our environment and take care of it and keep it sustainable. Well, to us, a lot of the kids in this day and age aren't as connected. There's been a detachment that's been going on for years between kids and the outdoors, whether it's, all these distractions, that we're all surrounded with.
It's the nature deficit disorder.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, our concept is, if a young kid doesn't connect with nature, isn't invested in it, doesn't have a passion for it, then they're not going to have any reason to protect it or pass it on themselves.
Word.
Yeah. It's as simple as that,
So
at
Chuck,
Cast Hope,
these kids in the program, do they come from a underprivileged economic background or just inner city kids?
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of them do. Yeah. A lot of them are underprivileged, underserved children. And, the age groups that we work with are mostly 10 to 17 years old. And, like I said, we work with a bunch of different organizations and groups and some schools. Recently, I'm super excited to, most of the kids that we work with are from the Northern California area, but specifically Sacramento, Redding, Chico, some of these areas down there. And recently, they appointed me as pretty much a liaison for my area, this county, and I recently got a local school that's special to me. It's called the
Donald,
Youth.
what are you doing?
Oh, you guys trying to sneak out?
Oh, sorry, Chuck. Donald's leaving. He was trying to sneak out.
Hey, we all got to go sometime.
It's a breakfast burrito that I had. I feel really bad about that.
All right. Where were we?
The Western Sierra Youth Build, where that school, it's pretty close to here. It's a John Muir charter school, right? And there's only about 40 students in there, but I've gone there. I've done some benefit work for them, did some benefit shows for them. We're always donating tools or clothes. They have kind of a building program there. They teach these kids trades. They kind of are taking a lot of these kids in. Some of them are homeless even, and they just try to get them on their feet. And I was there last year doing some benefit stuff, and I just thought, a fly fishing program would be perfect. A lot of these kids, they know the area, but some of them they've never experienced drifting down the river or, hiking around down there, and to me it was kind of a perfect opportunity to bring Cast Hope a little further into my own community, So we're just started that. We're going to be doing a program with them right now once a month, indefinitely, and we're looking to do add another day or two in there every month.
Nice.
So is this something that's just local for you, or is Cast Hope a national organization?
It's not a national organization, although right now what we're trying to do is expand.
You came to the right place.
Great model. Yeah. Well, hey, it's such a great model. It's such a great opportunity for young people, and honestly, man, it's a great opportunity for guides. The trips that we take the kids on are completely free. They get funded, like I said, by either donors or the funds that we raise through fundraising events. And what's attractive to the organizations that apply and sign up for this is their kids don't pay for anything. They show up, and there's guides, there's boats there. Sometimes there's camp trips, overnight trips. Sometimes it's more or less like a clinic, on the bank, and every trip's different. But they don't pay for anything. They show up. We have lunch and drinks for them and everything, and we just share our knowledge of what we have, what we can offer, and it's not, as you guys know, I mean, with taking any kid fishing, it's not all about the fish. Some of these kids have never held a rod in their hand, much less been on a boat. And, some of these kids, they've never seen an eagle or a deer or a duck or been in anywhere near moving water. And so, I mean, to just bring them out and show them a little bit about, why we're there, why the fish are there, what they're eating, the surrounding area, and give them just a boost, a sense of confidence in the outdoors, and, teach them a little bit more about teamwork, about persistence and patience. Man, you see some of these kids come in, some of them are just attention spans are gone and a little drab and just down, and then by the end of the day they're glowing. Man, it's a rewarding feeling. It's a great experience.
That sounds like a great program.
Kurt, get up on your mic.
That sounds like a great program.
Thank you. Kirk has a tendency to lean back.
Well, I'm laid back.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So what are your home waters down that way?
So, I mean, we're in the foothills, right here in Grass Valley. We're about, just to give somebody some orientation, we're about an hour, 15 minutes from Sacramento, maybe a little less when no traffic. About 45 minutes or so from Truckee, a couple hours from Reno, 2.5 hours from San Francisco. That's our zone. We've got a wide range of rivers down here. Our go-to zone is the Yuba River, the lower Yuba River. But there's the Feather River, the American's not far, the Sac, Truckee River, of course. And then we're also surrounded by a bunch of lakes and reservoirs. So it's for someone who enjoys to be on the water and chase fish and be in the outdoors, it's a pretty special place to be. Good climate too. We're at about 2,400 feet, so we're right below the snow line, and get a long growing season here. And it's a beautiful place to be.
Nice.
Sounds like it. Well, I'm about to find out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
So these kids in the program, how far do they come from where they live to participate? Are they fairly local, or is it a wide regional, statewide?
Yeah. Well, right now, like I said, most of the kids that we cater to are from the, when we say Northern California, it's mostly the Sacramento area, Sacramento, Redding, Chico, Bay Area. And now we have some, now with the school involved up here, we're looking to expand into the Truckee region soon, and who knows after that, So most of the time they're coming, they'll get shuttled by their mentors, which, that's kind of how the trip's set up. Is we'll take, it'll either be one kid or a group of kids, and they'll each have a mentor with them on the boat or the bank, and that mentor can either be it'll be a parent, teacher, guardian, parole officer, whoever it is that kind of has that kid under their wing, big sister, big brother.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Not only does it affect the kids in a positive way, but the mentors alike. It kind of, we all know what it's like to get out and go fishing with family or a buddy. And it's a great bonding experience. Especially if it's something that they'd never done before, or something they rarely do.
Yeah, no, it's satisfying for everybody.
So how many years has this program been in place?
It's been in place for about 8 years now, and if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, if people want to find out more about it, the website's just casthope.org.
Okay.
And all the information is there. Read more about it. And if there's any listeners that actually know of a program, a school, a group of kids, or even an individual kid, you can go to the website and you can apply to be part of the program. And, it's really simple to do. It's a great thing to do. So even if people are listening from out of the area and someone fairly close in this area that could use the program and benefit from this, just go to the site and apply right there.
And the minimum age for participants is 10?
Well, there's not necessarily a minimum age. I was just saying the majority of the kids that we're taking are within that age,
okay.
10 to 17.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you supply them with like a handheld gaming system or something to keep them occupied while they're out there?
No, we actually leave that in the truck.
Wow.
Yeah, that's left at home.
You know how many times I've been floating down the river and seen a boat with like dad and grandpa fishing with the kid sitting in the back with a video game?
With a Game Boy.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't fly.
No.
No, we, another cool thing about it is, we get a lot of donations from people as far as gear goes, and there's always kind of a stockpile of gear. And when we take these kids into this program, it's not a one-time thing unless they want it to be, okay? So once you're in the program, Cast Hope will continue to reach out to this kid to bring them back continuously. And, if these kids show interest, we're happy to fully outfit them with gear and everything that they need for nothing, for completely free, just to get them going, and keep them involved.
Nice.
And Yeah. So, and that's a great perk about it. That's a beautiful thing about it. And you know what, there's a few kids in the program that have been in the program since pretty much the beginning. And, these kids walked in as total beginners, and man, they're sticks and a half now, so it's cool to see the ones return, and I'm new to the program, but I've seen it, already. And I've seen kids come back and just, you can tell that they've gone home and thought about it, worked on it, and have come back and are just constantly advancing.
That kid got you tired out there?
What's that?
It sounds like you're running out of breath.
I'm just doing donuts, man, burning up the asphalt.
So let me ask you a question about, since you're working now on, and since you're new to guiding yourself and you're working on influencing the next generation of anglers, what are you hoping to change in terms of their approach to the pursuit that you see with the I've been fly fishing for 20 years. I didn't learn it from my dad. I learned it from somebody else. But what do you want to see different in 10 years, 15 years, when these kids are the face of the industry or the face of the sport?
Sure. To me, it's with these kids, it starts really simple. Like, it starts at the basic level of just simply protecting your area, picking up trash. Like, you'd be amazed. We've had some kids, in the boat that, would just unwrap something and just not even thinking about it, throw it down or throw it overboard. And, our goal is just to help kind of influence in a way where kids have a will and a drive to protect their environment and protect their surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously when it comes to angling, we teach them, the proper ways of landing and releasing a fish, and we teach them why, and that's all important. But for the most part, some of these kids, they didn't even grow up with a lot of the basic senses that we have of just cleaning up after themselves.
Yeah.
So, in a lot of ways, it's kind of starting it with the bare basics.
I like it though. I mean, It's just something I'm just never around that that world, so it's something I don't think about. But it's nice knowing that there's efforts being made to.
Well, yeah, you don't have to go very far, and before you start seeing, just total mistreatment of the environment. Oh, and I'm not talking on a global scale. I'm talking just, personal litter.
Yeah, the Skycomish down the road is a good example.
Yeah.
I mean, just like you could fill up a boat going down that river on any given day.
Yeah.
Which has been done.
Yeah. And that's because the people doing that weren't raised with a proper outlook on the environment. They weren't, they weren't stewards. They didn't have anybody telling them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so I mean, it's really simple, when it comes down to it, and in a lot of ways. I mean, most of the time when you're fishing or you have typical clients that book a fly fishing trip, everybody's already aware of that, in a lot of ways, and I mean, it's that old saying. It's like how much good are you going to do preaching to the choir? I mean, there's a lot of people.
I think that was a slam on our podcast. Carry on.
No, sorry about it. But I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are in need of, who would love, to be a part of the natural world, and enjoy it the way we all enjoy it, but just, they're just unfamiliar.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think we can start to inch towards letting you get a break from the donuts, but maybe start to fill us in a little bit on how our listeners can support what you're doing there, or how they can hire you for guiding or donate gear or anything that you want to put out there.
All right, sure, yeah. Well, as far as Cast Hope goes, if there are people who want to donate, want to see the program grow, which we're always in need, and I can honestly say Ryan Johnson and the board, Hogan Brown, they're very mindful as to, how these funds are used. These funds are used to help the kids. The guides who are a part of the program, they do get compensated for their time, not as much as if they were doing a private trip or, it's partly donated time from the guides as well. But if there are donors out there, you simply just go to that website, casthope.org. There's a donate button right there, and there's always perks and everything, for your donations. And we've got a couple fundraisers in the works right now. The next big one will be September 10th in Chico, California, at the Sierra Nevada Brewery. Should be a great event, and we're going to do a big show there.
Big show,
like
as
far as
camaraderie or hot water music, or just
yeah. I'm gonna play. I may have a few other buddies. I don't know who all is going to be on the bill just yet. I was just talking to Corey Brannon. He's a heck of a songwriter. He's up for doing it. And, so it's simple as that. Just head to the site. As far as anybody in this area who wants to get out on a trip, I do mostly the Yuba River for a lot of resident rainbow and steelhead there, and the Feather River's not far. It can be a pretty decent steelhead fishery when the salmon are in. And then I do a lot of bass trips. I target largemouth, smallmouth, spotted bass on a lot of the reservoirs, some large carp as well, all on the fly. And so we do a number of different things. I'm easy to get a hold of just at crguideservice@gmail.com. That's kind of the easiest way if you're in the foothills. And then, I guide out of our local shop, Real Anglers. And Real Anglers is another, if you're in the area and I can't serve you, we've got a ton of great guides in the area who do exactly what I'm doing. And Real Anglers is a great shop, just located right here in Grass Valley.
Do you ever have people book a trip with you to get like an autograph or something? Fans.
I haven't done any. No, actually, I did a clinic a while ago, and myself and Tom Page and Dave Barbieri, we did a clinic on the Yuba, just a subsurface fishing clinic for about a dozen people, and there were a couple guys who were fans, and yeah, I did. I took a couple pictures and signed an autograph, which is I don't know. I wasn't expecting that, but I don't know. There's been a couple people who booked trips with me that were fans, and they'd never held a fly rod before, and there's been a couple who had. We're familiar with fishing and got them out, and I don't know. It's cool for me. It's cool for them. It's like we almost kind of already had this connection before the trip even began. So.
You ever bring your guitar in the boat and serve up a shoreside lunch and then sing a few songs for them?
and pick a little ditty?
Yeah.
No, not yet. Not yet.
You could charge extra for that.
Yeah. There you go.
I probably could, huh?
The premium package.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Derek, you were about to say something?
I was going to add, I mean, he said subsurface, clinics. Are you talking about nymphing under a bobber, or what are you talking about?
Or streamer fishing.
Or streamer fishing.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, this was just a simple clinic on nymphing, and we would do it.
We'll edit that out.
Fishing them under bobbers and tight lining. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
I agree.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Chuck, should we let you get going? Unless you got anything else you want to add?
That 8-month-old has to either have pooped or have to eat in the last hour.
What's that?
I said that 8-month-old has either had to poop or eat in the last hour that you've been on the call. So
he actually just conked out. So so now he's nice and.
Timber! I got rods falling over in here.
Well, you got a nice, easygoing firstborn, so he's doing the job of lulling you into thinking that the next one will be like that.
Kirk, you want to talk about that?
That's what we hear.
I'm still in recovery.
You must. Yeah, I was going to say, you sound like you're speaking from experience. So.
Well, my kids are old now. My daughter's almost 24 and my son is 22, but my daughter was easygoing, sweet. She slept well, and along came her little brother. Enough said.
Yeah. Wow.
And Kirk.
Yeah, we've heard that. We've heard that.
Kirk actually wrote fly fishing books for children that are out of print and going on Amazon for like $6,000 right now.
Yeah, but they're coming back in print, baby.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Have you ever seen Olive the woolly bugger?
I've seen it online. We don't have that one on the shelf, but we do have.
Kirk wrote that.
Oh man, yeah.
The guy sitting here.
Yeah.
All right,
we'll get you an autographed copy.
Yeah, you betcha.
Hey, I'm down.
Sorry, Kirk. I'm just.
I'm just
volunteering you for stuff.
Are you guys familiar? You guys familiar with Mike Costello?
Of Abbott and Costello?
Is that the guy? The guy that plays
Costello?
I
Elvis
Mike
Costello.
Mike Costello is one of the premier, if not the premier, striper, California Delta striper guide, and he's a heck of a dude, unbelievable fella, and he wrote a children's book where Trout Calls Home. I don't know if you guys seen that one, but
to scope out the competition, Kirk.
Yeah. Anyhow, he also put a book together, just Delta book on striper fishing. Him and John Sherman had a lot to do with it. It's awesome book. But not too long ago, I had hit him up. Hogan and I were talking about doing a trip with him, and we hit him up, and I had mentioned his kids' book, and that's going to be the next book on little Grady's shelf, and he autographed and sent my boy a copy.
Nice.
But yeah, for kids' books, it's a good one.
Well, since Chuck's a rock star and everything, he could probably afford to get the one on Amazon right now for $6,000.
And now that he's guiding too, that's just going to be like the bank is going to.
Yeah,
totally.
Exactly. So.
We'll make sure the books are going to be reprinted here. They may be already on the presses. I'm not sure, but once they're available, I'll make sure. I'll get it set to you.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy to buy it. I'm happy to support the cause.
Well, I'll trade you that for a CD. How's that? Do you burn CDs, or are you just on iTunes?
Burn CDs. He'll burn one off on his computer and write the name on it and send it to you.
We still make CDs. We press a lot of vinyl, too. I don't know if any of you guys are vinyl guys.
Kirk, you know about that stuff.
I still got my old turntable.
Hey, there you go.
So you were a hipster before it was cool.
Never a hipster.
We never really stopped making records. My wife and I have a little mom and pop shop record label that we release limited vinyl presses.
What's that called?
10-4 Records.
10-4 Records.
Yeah. This new record that just came out. Just came out February 4th. I did so this is irony for you. I did a soundtrack for a video game.
I was sitting here the whole time thinking about how I was going to tie that into your Cast Hope thing. Like, do you get kids the copy of the video game, or?
Yeah. Yeah. So, one of the guys who's a part of the group that did it, his name's Scott Sinclair. He's an artist that he's been a friend for years, and he did the majority of the Hot Water Music record covers. And he approached me a couple of years ago about this project, and he said, "Hey man, how do you feel about writing music for a video game?" And my first instinct was like, "Yeah, I'm not a game guy. I don't really support that at least kids just spending all their time in front of a TV." And so I was apprehensive about it until he explained the concept of the game. And the name of the game is The Flame and the Flood, and it's pretty much all about this young girl and her dog in this kind of post-apocalyptic world where everything is completely flooded and dilapidated and society's just crumbled. And they don't put any emphasis on why it's that way, whether it was political or environmental or whatnot, but it just is, right? It's just the whole world is just completely flooded, and you got rivers and delta systems running through cities and everything.
I blame
the whole
Obama.
Point of this game, yeah, and the whole point of this game is this young girl just navigating through these systems, surviving on makeshift rafts, just her and her dog. And the more he explained it, and what kind of attracted me is he was like, "Yeah, we're kind of gonna explain these survival skills, and through this video game." And so, I mean, it was ironic to me that there's going to be kids who are actually going to learn a little about the outdoors through playing a video game. And I agreed to do this project, and it was a lot of fun, man. It's a cool soundtrack, and I got some buddies involved, and I ended up I wrote most of the music and the lyrics just down camping on the Yuba River down there, and we'd just go down there, spend some time, drift the river, pull over, camp, and that's when I brought my guitar.
There we go.
but I was solo, so.
Cool.
So in the video game, does this character in the video game, does she get her hands on a fly rod?
Not that I've seen yet.
Yeah.
But,
teach a post-apocalyptic girl to fish and feed her forever, something like that. Yeah. Teach her how to find food with one of the most difficult ways of actually catching.
Yeah, the least efficient way of actually catching fish.
Well, if you give her a bag of beads.
Yeah, give her a subsurface presentation.
Yeah.
Nymphing into the apocalypse.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Give her a spay rod. And
Oh yeah, then she would make it a week.
And I would probably center pin the apocalypse. If
I would center pin the shit out of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even a gear rod. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd gill net the apocalypse.
Well,
Oh, touche.
There you go.
Yeah, touche.
There you go.
Jill net the apocalypse.
Hashtag that.
Yeah.
Hashtag, yeah.
Hashtag Gillnet the apocalypse.
It's going to go virus. That hashtag is going virus
You
today.
Going virus.
You heard it right there.
Well, I suggest we end on a high note.
Well, see you later.
Right on.
Cool. All right,
Well-
Chuck. We'll let you go here.
Gentlemen, it was great catching up with you. I appreciate it, Evan. I'm looking forward to getting you on the boat, brother.
Yeah, hopefully it goes better than when you tried to fish with me up here a couple months ago.
Yeah. Well, we can, if it's tough, we can always go, dip some crawfish nets down in the lake.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe bring a squid jig.
Yeah, I tried. So Chuck came up here to play a show and he wanted to fish, and we had all this stuff planned. And then as the day got closer and closer, it was like our worst flood of the year.
Yeah,
and
we had 4.
We got every day it got closer and closer. The forecast kept deteriorating. Eventually, I was just like, not happening. And then to kind of salvage this trip, because that's kind of what he came up here for. We ended up trying to jig for squid out of his hotel room window at the Edgewater in Seattle.
Hey, the Beatles did it, right?
Yeah. I think they might have been a little more successful than we were, though.
Yeah, it was also like the worst couple days of squid jigging of all winter as well. So nobody was catching any.
Who even knew that squid jigging was a thing?
Me?
Yeah.
They do it a lot.
It is now.
I do it a lot. I get squid all the time. I'm a really good squidder.
Jigger.
Hey, I'm all about it.
Yeah. So we tried to jig squid out of his window just to try and do it. Sit there and order pizza and crank the fireplace up. It was really outdoorsy.
Hey, that was a highlight of that trip, though. I'll tell you, man. That was
Can you do that like ice fishing? Can you do
probably the last
fishing?
thing I was expecting to be doing in Seattle
Was jigging for squid in his hotel room.
Yeah,
squid jigging the apocalypse.
I was all fired up, pulling the big sticks out of the racks up top, and
you settled
so
for
amped to get up there.
You settled for hand lining squid jigs.
Hand lining squid.
Now it's just getting crazy.
Did you guys see that? I'll use the photo from that for our promo picture for the show.
There we go.
That's kidding.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway, all right, Chuck, you can go.
Well, right on, fellas. Hey, thanks so much. You guys take it easy.
All
I
right.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
Bye. I just pulled that later.
Whoa, what's that?
They're wearing hotel room robes. That's kind of creepy.
Who is?
Looks like Chuck and Evan at the Edgewater.
No, it's Chuck and a buddy of mine.
That makes me uncomfortable.
We put on the hotel room. They had bathrobes in there. We put those on and ordered pizza and cranked up the fire and sat down in the chair and tried to jig for squid out of the window. We actually hooked a couple and lost them.
What floor were you on?
The second.
Oh,
that's reasonable.
So that's about the same height as like a fishing pier that you would normally be sitting on.
Good times.
That was literally the only quote unquote fishing opportunity available to us that week.
Nutty.
Because we were going to go to like the Skycomish or the Skagit, and then we were going to go to the Yakima or the Cowlitz or something, and literally every river just blew out.
Yeah, we had a rough late fall winter.
Yeah. Well, when was our last show? Like summer, probably.
Was it even in 2015 or was it
October?
October. Yeah.
All right.
Something like that.
So yeah, cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
Chuck. Good dude.
Cool. I'd never heard of him or his music before, so
Or Cast Hope, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we did it.
Yeah, absolutely. See, we launching careers.
Yeah. It's taken him 25 years to get to this point, but he made it.
Not everybody gets their start here. Sometimes it takes you a while to get here.
Yeah. He's worked hard to get on the show today.
Yeah.
Things should come a little easier from this point forward.
Well,
Right.
that's good.
Well, so before we end the show, what's in store for you guys for the next couple months before we do the next show?
I can't see past my eye appointment at noon today.
Well, hopefully they fix that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some wood today. And that's all I can think
Did
about.
you find some good cedar or something?
I found some good reclaimed wood.
Nice.
I'm going to go get some wood.
At the place here in town?
No, downtown Seattle. It's where you get the best wood.
Oh,
Right by the CenturyLink Sports Ball Stadium.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I went there a couple months ago.
What's the reclaimed wood
Back
for?
Decorating the new house, the new old house.
Gotcha.
So
You guys have been busy.
like beavers. Actually, if I'd been a beaver, it'd probably been a lot easier.
Yeah.
I prefer being busy like rabbits.
Well, it's either way.
Well.
Think about what beavers do inside their beaver dams while you're not watching them.
Eat fish.
Beavers are industrious. Rabbits are just promiscuous.
Yeah, I've already. The dogs have already killed a couple of rabbits in the yard, which has been nice. Mm-hmm. Just if you didn't know, fresh rabbit doesn't smell very good in your dog's breath.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. It might not be as bad as duck or snake.
You should.
Speaking of duck,
have you ever eaten rabbit?
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't eat them in the springtime.
Why is that?
Or when the weather's warm. I've heard that they can have diseases in the flesh.
That's something you might learn on Chuck's video game that he helped with.
Oh, yeah.
Survival skills.
Survival skills.
Rabbit trap the apocalypse.
No, you brought up duck, and that reminded me of a duck incident that I had recently.
Oh.
There was a sports ball game on, and my neighbor bought some fancy ducks that he wanted me to smoke for the game.
Oh,
and
the fat fire.
you just ruined it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You just ruined the suspense.
Well, now we can move on to the next topic.
The fat fire.
So I had a couple chickens in there and a couple ducks, and I pulled one of the ducks out and took it inside and was cutting it up and noticed my remote thermometer was blinking. And was like, that's weird. And it was said overheating. And I thought maybe the battery was out or something. So I walked outside and there was a 10-foot flame tornado coming out the top of my smoker.
You should have been on Chuck's buddy's boat. That would have been sweet.
What? Oh, your mom?
Yeah. Big fat fire on your mom.
Your mom's on fire.
Yeah.
Fat fire on your mom.
Yeah, I had to use a stick to open the front door on the smoker and empty my fire extinguisher on it.
That would have been funny to see, probably.
Yeah,
if I was like your Confederate flag waving neighbors over there,
they moved.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway, yeah, duck fat. It's like gasoline. That was intense.
Could you put it in your car and use it? Gasoline?
I would. After seeing that, I would not be opposed to it. If it was post-apocalyptic and I needed to figure out a way to make my truck go, I would consider dumping duck fat in there.
Those must have been commercial market type really fat ducks, because wild ducks don't have enough fat to cause a fire like that.
Yeah, I think it collected in the cavity of the duck, and when I pulled it out, it dumped out, and that's why it happened.
Did you put a beer can in your duck? Was it a beer can duck?
It was not. We marinated them, and I glazed them with maple syrup and.
Ooh, I heard maple's pretty flammable too.
Is it?
I got a bunch of plastic. I got a bunch of plastic ducks in my storage unit.
Those smoke up good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they smoke up real good.
And a camo duck blind, if I can find it. It's in there.
There you go.
But I got a bunch of plastic ducks.
Those are called decoys.
I know, but I think it's a plot.
Think so?
Yeah.
Cool.
To get me to go duck hunting.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well, yeah. I mean, as usual, over the next few months, I'm going to continue to do trade shows like I've been doing.
Oh, see you this weekend.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Is Linwood this weekend?
It is.
Yep.
Oh, get out of town.
Notice they didn't invite us to do another
class. I have
class.
to get out of town. Yeah.
No, we didn't do another media thing.
Yeah, last year we were all excited, hey, they want us to actually do a presentation.
They were probably afraid that it would just be a freaking madhouse if we did it again.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things have happened since then.
It is a small venue.
Yeah. Well, I got to say that the three people that were in attendance for the media panel discussion were very interested in what the other people.
So they probably went and told all their friends to come to the next one, and now we're not doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now we got to hold off a little bit.
There has been a propagation of fly fishing podcasts since that. However,
one thing something was brought to my attention recently is iTunes has a top 10 list per category, and there's an outdoor category.
Yeah.
We've been in their top 10 list for outdoor podcasts multiple times apparently.
No shit.
Imagine if we did this with any regularity. We could be in the top 5.
At least.
Yeah.
Regularity.
I mean, we could potentially go from dozens of listeners to,
yeah, we don't want
hundreds.
We don't want to do this on a regular basis and become predictable. You got to hold back.
Right.
Well, now that we've had, somebody from a early 90s punk rock, Southern-based rock band on the show, and that might just bring in a whole new group of listeners. It might.
Could be. I didn't think he sounded real Southern. I thought that he needed to turn up that drawl.
Colonel Sanders a little bit more. Yeah.
Maybe he does when he goes bass fishing. I don't know.
I bet that's it.
Yeah.
Well, you should take the portable recording device with you when you go and see if you can kind of squeeze that out of him a little bit.
Yeah, could do that.
And some duck fat.
Yeah.
On your mom.
Okay.
Well, Kirk, you probably got to get to your eye appointment.
What time is it? I can't see a damn thing.
I don't even know. Well, should we pull the plug on this one until next time?
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kill it.
Okay.
All right.
Another time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
like waters beyond fables and years. There's freedom in moving on. There's a silence that may be heard loud and clear. And a simple, wild and natural cadence. Keep my eyes open, keep my ears sharpened. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And oh, desperation, chasing horizons in the flame and the flood. Trials and tales of old that cut us near will help keep our head above the water. Keep my eyes open, keep my ears sharpened. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Oh, desperation, chasing horizons in the flame and the sharpened. There's nothing to